Hello everybody, it's a pleasure to be with you again. Welcome to our new live stream on Instagram. So now we start to have a few, and we've got a very good topic, a question that we've got many times, and that I'm glad that we're going to talk about it, because being European myself and French, I always knew the tea coming in tea bags, and we always... Something wrong?
Yes.
We lost the power?
No.
No? Sorry, it seems that we have a technical problem. Maybe just do it manually in that case. Okay, here we are. So we had a bit of a technical problem, but it's okay. And I was saying that I always knew the tea coming in tea bags. We always bought the tea coming in tea bags, and we had the habit of having a tea bag, in hot water, and we never questioned that. And after I moved to Asia, I didn't see these tea bags anymore, or rarely, or only in supermarkets. And little by little, I lost the habit of using a tea bag. And I said, and I got this question many times coming to me, is, do you have tea bags in your shops? And I said, actually we don't, but if we do it, we'll have to do it a bit differently. So the topic of today, wait a second, I forgot my remote control. Be right back. Is loose leaves versus tea bags. Which one should you choose? So let's make it clear that I'm not here to destroy the use of the tea bags or the main or the tea industry, because the tea bags can have some advantage, and we're going also to see why they are used and what advantage they can have. And I'm going to move now to make a few experiments and to show you a few things, because it's always better to show rather than to talk. Seeing is believing. So we're going to move here. As you can see, I prepare a few plates where we're going to show you the tea, and we're going to compare loose leaves versus tea bag, and we're going to make a brew. And during that brew, we're going to check the difference. So first of all, the main thing I would like to tell you is, when we use a tea bag and the tea, the first thing that is important is a question of quality. So when it comes to quality, how to check a quality? And you need to see the product. And when you're in a tea bag, most of the time, you don't see what is in your tea bag. Some of the new tea bags you can see. So always check your product. Second indication is price. How could you think that the product that you buy in the supermarket for here would be 500 yen, which would be the equivalent of 3 or 5 euro, and have so much tea, so many tea bags? How could you imagine that this would be a tea of good quality? The price is very important. So if they charge you cheap, it means that it costs them nothing to do. And as you know, good tea requires a lot of work. So what I'm going to do first is to check about the quality. Let's see what they put in tea bags. So I've been collecting some tea bags, during my travels, here and there. I received them randomly. We're not here to show some brands, but I've got some international ones. This is French. This is another country from Southeast Asia. This is, I know where it's coming from, and even Japanese. So let's see what is inside. Let's see what they put inside these tea bags. Now we have a nice tea bag here. That is not bad. And I recommend you to do the same, so you can check. So this is the conventional tea bag here. 1, 2, this is the same as this. 3, let's put this one. They're all coming from green tea, Japanese green teas, because it's easier to compare. This is what we call a muslin. This is a nice tea bag, actually. This one here. Very good. Oop. I put this, you know what? Let me remove the brand, otherwise they will say that I'm here to destroy the other people. Actually, I don't really mind them, but we're focusing on the product, not on the brands. Good, so this is a few tea bags, and what I'm going to do here is we're going to check what is inside. Let's do the same with this one. This is a more conventional tea bag, so the cheapest ones. Good, let's have a look. What do we have inside this? Yeah, now you speak. Huh? I can tell you, if we serve that in our shop, we will not have many customers. Huh? Okay. This one is Japanese. You see, they are very proud because they say, oh, matcha iri, which means it contains a bit of matcha. Putting matcha in a tea bag is a bit of a challenge, but as you can see, it goes out. This is to bring a bit of color. Wonderful. This one is nicer, actually. This is what we call a tissue bag. So it made of textile. Voila. Good. Now we can see. This one I keep for later because I will make the tea with this one. So as we can see, this is mostly Funnings. This is again Funnings. This is better quality. We have a tea here, we have some bits of leaves, and this is also. So these two ones will be more or less equivalent. And these two ones are also equivalent. Now to compare, let's get tea. Okay, let's get our Mirai from Kawane. And let's have a look of what we are talking about. What are we talking about here? So, loose, tea bag higher quality, tea bag lowest quality. So what is the difference? Number one, most of the time in the tea bags, they will put what you don't see. You know, it looks a bit like a powder. In other words, it's called the Funnings. Funnings are dusts that are recovered from the processing of the tea. This is very low quality. They are bits and pieces that are put together. They have a bit of taste, but they lose a lot of the ingredient of the whole leaf. So you will not be able to compare either the taste and how you brew it. So this is basically dust. It's a very cheap product, and it doesn't provide at all the same nutrition, doesn't provide the same taste, doesn't provide the same profile, and is not even pleasant to look at. Here we've got tea of higher quality that has been put into a tea bag. We have to recognize that. You know, we can put some good tea inside tea bags. Problem is, do they do that? Most of the time, no. Sometimes, yes. So here we've got a tea of medium range quality. These are two famous brands. And this is our tea coming from our farm in Kawane. And you can see the needle shape and the rolling. It makes a tea that has not traveled, was not packed in the same way. It is not damaged. The color is more vibrant. So we've got a big difference between all of them. So in terms of quality, most of the time, 99% of the time, the tea leaves that you will have in loose, when you buy loose tea, will be better than what you buy in tea bags, even in beautiful tea bags, even when they say they put some good quality. So that's rule number one, or fact number one, because it's not a rule. And this reflects on the price as well. So now the second thing that I would like to say is, here we're limited to, I took Japanese tea as an example. But let's imagine that I want to put another type of tea. Here I've got another type of tea, Japanese and not Japanese, we will show a few examples. So look at this. This is our Irabansha coming from Mandokoro in Shiga Prefecture. This product is sold as it is. So as you can see, the leaf is big, it's passed under steam, it's dried. Of course, I have a full leaf here. Some of the time they're a bit broken, but when, as you can see, they're big leaf and flat. I really wonder, how can I put that into a tea bag? So you're limited with a tea bag. There are many products in big leaves that we cannot simply put in a tea bag. That is the Hirabansha. Let's go for another one. This is from Kumamoto. Let's imagine that we have, okay, do I need another plate? Let me get another plate. So our friends can see what is happening here. Look at these beautiful leaves. So they are bigger. So this is a red tea that is dry. Already you see the size and the shape. This is a lot more also difficult to put into a tea bag without damaging it, and it's a lot of work. Let's go for two other teas that I have in my collection. We don't need to go that far. Let's go for a Dansung Oolong coming from the Guangdong Prefecture, from the Phoenix Mountain of China. So this one here. Can you put this tea inside a tea bag? No, you cannot. Or you have to compress it or to get the dust of this tea. So by definition, some teas are smaller. Some leaves, you know, like Kimon tea, Longjing is also smaller. The tips can be smaller, but we have a big leaf like this. No way this product will make it to a tea bag. And if it does, I will tell you, stay away from it, or you might have a lower experience, or not premium at all, and you might be disappointed. Okay, let me close this one properly so we preserve the aromas. This is lovely. Another one. Actually, I like this one because it's really beautiful. Look at this. This is also very rare. This is a raw pu'er from Yunnan province. Look at this type of leaves. Okay, we're going a bit extreme here. We have stem and leaves. That this kind of product will never make it into a tea bag. So, second point is limitation of the product that can fit into a tea bag that goes inside your cup. So many good products cannot fit unless they are transformed. If they are transformed, I don't really trust them. So quality and limitation of choice. Now when it comes to the brew, we're going to make it. So here I've got my Japanese tea from the tea bag. You know, let's do it. Yeah, most of the time. So I'm going to put it here, like the way like people are doing. And I'm going to add. I'm going to do exactly the same one actually. I'm going to do this one. In the cues. Okay, the quality will be subpar, but anyway, for the experience, let's put, we don't have much. The quantity actually here, if I've got 1 gram, I don't even think I've got 1 gram. If we want to have a good quality, a good brew for this kind of size, I need to have at least 3 grams here. Do we have them? I tell you exactly how much grams we have in this one. Wait a second. Okay. Okay, with the plastic, we will say well maximum of a bit less than 2 grams. Okay, 2 grams versus 3 or 3.5. Already 50% less. Fair enough. Let's go for this. Uyo, I'm not surprised. Look at this. As soon as I pour the water, it got green. Normally, in a good tea, Japanese tea, I will need to let it brew for 1 minute in the first brew. As you can see, it's already gone. Why? Because they're a bit smart. They cheat a little bit. They put a bit of matcha powder, so it goes very quickly inside. So I shouldn't touch it. This one already changed color, I'm not surprised. Which will not happen with the good tea leaves that take a bit more time to diffuse and to brew. So if I had to do it properly, which nobody does, I will have to remove the tea bag and put it aside, because a good tea can be brewed several times. Let's brew this one. Okay, here is my color. I don't think we will have a big difference, but let's have a look. So first of all, as you can see, because I'm not in a tea bag, the tea fannings are doing it through the filter because we have very, very small dust and particles. Fair enough, as you can see. I never have that when we brew our tea. Well, is there a difference? Well, a little bit. So let me try, I tell you. When I drink this, I understand why people don't like green tea. Or they're used to something that is a standard and they drink it. Actually, it has almost no taste. But guess what? It has a difference. Even like this, it has a difference. It doesn't brew in the same way. And why? We're going into another limitation, is we cannot brew in a tea bag the same way like we brew in a cuse, in a teapot, because the leaves need space to expand. So this one is tea fannings, it's very small, but even when they get water, they are using all the space, they inflate, you know, they swell, and they will take all the space of the tea bag. And because this one is made of tea fannings, the mesh is very, very thin. Otherwise, all the matcha, all the thing will go out. I've got more flavor. Of course, it's the same tea. It's a bit better. It is not great, not at all. If I do my cabernet, we're going to do the cabernet. We're not taking long tonight. It's just to show our friends how it works and what is the difference. Okay, I'm not putting much. This is about, and I'm going to put 2 grams or so, like they do. Let's do that. Enough. This one, if I brew it now, will have almost no taste. It needs time for the leaves to open and to brew slowly. And we'll have a lot of nutrient inside. So bear with us and you will see the difference. So as you can see here, the leaves have the leaves, if we can call that, you know, the dust has some chance to expand. Here, not ready. So if we have another type of tea, or if we want to put good tea inside a tea bag, it's possible. We can put good tea inside the tea bag. We are doing it. This is the only way we are trying to do it for the convenience. These are the typical kind of tea bags. So this is an example. This is made of a mesh. You can put your tea, you close it around, but leave a lot of space. Let's do it with this one. Okay, wait a second. We're going to make a try. If we have to use a tea bag, we will have to do it like this, but you see, it's a lot of work. Voila, a bit more. Not too much, we'll make the dose. Okay, enough. As you can see, now I've got nice leaves, and I will close it. This should be ready. This I don't need anymore. Okay. Funny. That is good for another topic. Mountain tea versus valley tea. This one is made green on purpose. You know, it helps with a bit of matcha. This is a bit more yellowish. So let's compare. This is what comes out versus this. So we're not talking about the same product at all. And look how much the leaves inflated. And if we do that with another tea like oolong is expanding so much, it's getting so big. Try to put it in the tea bag, very, very challenging. Voila. Here is closed. This, I don't need it anymore. Now I know why I don't buy this. And some people sometimes ask me, can you get me this one at this price? I said, well, you don't want this. You will be disappointed. Yeah, but you know, this is what we need to sell for the people and everything. I say, okay, you sell if you want, but they will not enjoy a good tea experience. Okay, let's put our nice tea. We can do this. Same brewing conditions. Let's have a look. Good quality tea. Let's give it a bit of time. Okay, let me put a bit of a timer. And in the meantime, I prepare. So this is more yellowish. When it's more yellowish, it's typically the color we get from mountain teas, you know. And we will make another session about mountain tea versus valley tea. It's another word. So while it is brewing, you know, I'll be just right back. We give it a few more seconds. And then we can compare. And we will wrap this session. I've got last points. Okay. I don't touch it. If I touch it, then I will mix the compound and it's no good. It's never good to swirl the tea or to mix it. The tea has to expand and to infuse naturally. We can mix a little bit. Normally the mix is done at the end when we pour the liqueur into the cup. All that is a science of infusion. Infusion, diffusion, extraction. This is pure chemistry actually. If we do that in a lab in many conditions, here we are. So, if I want to do it properly, voila, what I need to do. I need to lift it up like this. Remove all the water. It's no good to leave the tea leaves still with water because it will continue to brew. And that is difficult. Nobody really likes to remove the tea bag because it's a bit dirty, it's not nice. But if you had to do it, I will do like this and put it aside. And now we have something that is almost equivalent. So it's still possible to make a good brew out of a tea bag. But look how much it expanded. The leaves are big. So thank God this tea bag is made for that. In that case, it can work. Look at the difference. So, these are room. But still, I've got a bit more depth in the two color. On the right side is a bit more. We have a better extraction in the teapot. So now, if we want to do it properly, if you want to extract everything you have from that tea, this is what many people don't know. You make a second brew. The famous Nisenmei in Japanese. And I tell you, I guarantee you that something will come out of it. Let it be here. And we're going to do the same with the tea bag. Because I want want to show that the tea bags are not meant to be brewed a second time or a third time. Okay, I can put directly here. Actually, still the matcha coming out here. So it will have colors, but it will not have taste. We'll let it go. To be honest, it didn't have taste from the first brew, huh? So. What you don't get in the first brew with these kind of things, you will never get in the second or not in the third. This one actually should be enough because the second brew should be quick. It's already lighter. Of course, it doesn't brew that well in the tea bag like it would be in the teapot. Teapot offers, actually, once you have the tea leaves in the teapot, it offers a much more convenience because when it's done, it's done. You just have to pour water and to pour into your cup. The tea bag is good from the beginning where you put it in your cup, you add hot water and you think you're done. Actually, if you really like tea, it's not a big work. So let's see this. Okay, basically I've got color, I have no aroma, I have no taste. But people always look at color first because we always eat or drink what we see. Nice and May, so second brew of this one. Not bad. Still, I don't think we match the second brew coming from the Kyoto. There is a bit of a difference. So, unless you're well trained. So this is the two things that I wanted to show you, or 3 points. There is one more point actually that I'm missing much. And when I, for example, meet with friends or with family and we're having time together, I really like the preparation. The fact to have the bamboo tray, to prepare the leaves, to show appreciation, to prepare the tea, to have the water at the right temperature. You know, it's something that it's a bit like a rite. You know, and people who are used to drink other things, I can compare it with having a glass of champagne, having some cognac, having some wine. People who are attached to rites, and what keeps, you know, the sharing of emotion between people is how you present it, how you warm it, how you decant it, what kind of glass are you using, up to when, you know, what temperature you're going to cool your white wine or your champagne, you know, all these things. Do you put an ice or not, you know, the presentation, all the appreciation that you give in the preparation is really felt by all the people around you. And with the tea, there is part of the rite. I really like to prepare it, brew it, smell it, wait for it. You know, the experience is a lot more rich and the exchange is a lot better. To put a tea bag into a cup and then to put it out and put it back, it can be convenient. Maybe if you're alone, it's fast. But I find it cold, you know, I find it very impersonal. I find it's not something that is nice to share with people that you love around you. So this is what I think is a bit of an element that we lose. So with all that, let's go for our little summary. So our summary would be here. So please come with me, Kosan. I like to make this kind of little demonstration and to show you how it looks like and to take the time. So as a summary, I talk about 4 points. So point number 1 is the quality. If you cut your tea bag, you will see you will not have the same quality. It doesn't mean that you cannot have good quality tea in tea bags, but most of the time you don't have. So if you have tea bags, make sure that the tea is the one that you want, and that the shop in question will put the good tea, exactly the same as a loose tea, inside the tea bags. That will be an extra step. And most of the time it will cost you much more because there is more work to be done to put the loose tea into the tea bags when the tea is of quality. Good tea bags also, no, that's number 3. Number 2, many of the tea leaves or the whole leaves cannot enter into a tea bag. I show only a few examples. The hirabancha cannot fit into a tea bag. We need a tea bag that is big like this. Dansongulong cannot fit into a tea bag. What was the other one that I show? These long leaves of the shengpuar, the raw pu'er tea, doesn't fit into a tea. And these was 3 examples. I can find many others. So you will be limited by your choices of tea. Number 3 is very difficult to replicate the same brew as in a teapot. The tea bag most of the time doesn't have room for expansion of the leaf. The leaf needs to absorb water, will become big, and the liquor needs to diffuse uniformly into the teapot. With a tea bag is more difficult. So if you use a tea bag, make sure that it's a good tea bag with a good mesh and big enough for the leaf to expand. In that case, we can compensate. And finally, we're losing the right. I find it a lot nicer, more warm to share the tea and to prepare it together than to just put, infuse, and just drink. So these are the 4 main points. So of course, many of you might be aware of it, some of you that are not, so please pay attention. And I always say, know your tea. When you know your tea, you will know what you like, you will know what you buy, and you know what you appreciate. Knowledge gives you choice, knowledge gives you pleasure. Knowledge is wonderful and it applies the same as with other things, it applies the same as for tea. So that is the end of our session tonight. Do we have any question or do we have anything tonight, Kosan?
We are fine today. We are fine today.
We're fine today?
Yes.
So that's very good. So for any of you who have any comments about this video, any question or any other experiences, please share with us. It's an open world. We share our experience with you, the best that we know. And we accept comment and we accept reviews as well. We're always doing our best to share the up-to-date information based on science and experience. So thank you very much. Next week we don't have a live stream because I will be traveling to the island of Yakushima to select some new teas that I will share with you next time. So our next live session will be 2 weeks later. I will still put a few posts of the travel, of the tea plantations. I'll make a few short videos, but the Q&A will be 2 weeks later. If you have any questions, as usual, please send them to us on YouTube or Instagram or in our shop, and we'll be very happy to make another session together with you. Thank you very much. We wish you all the best, and until next time, have a nice evening. Bye.